Specific frequency to this Tuesday, February 2nd, that you may have sensed the moment you opened your eyes. It is not merely another day on the calendar, nor is it a random sequence of hours to be endured. For the chosen, for those who walk with the weight and the glory of a higher calling, today represents a pivotal intersection between your current reality and the divine ideal that is pressing to be born through you. You might feel a subtle tension in the air, a sense of expectancy, as if the very atmosphere is waiting for a command. This is because, in the metaphysical sense, today is a day of presentation and revealing. It is a moment where the old skins of your past limitations are dry and brittle, ready to be shed, and the version of you that God has envisioned since before the foundations of the world is demanding to take the lead. You are being asked to stop rehearsing your history and start practicing your destiny. Many of you feel this pressure as anxiety or restlessness, but I invite you to reframe it as the knocking of your own potential. However, navigating this transition from who you were to who you are becoming requires more than just willpower. It requires a structural change in how you view yourself and your connection to abundance. If you sense that it is time to finally dismantle the invisible barriers that have kept you in a cycle of almost but not quite, I want to invite you to explore the 3 keys to a prosperous life. This is not just a collection of words, it is a comprehensive trilogy designed as a practical map for the chosen. It is built to help you awaken to your true identity, heal the silent traumas that repel success, and expand with a stability that allows you to receive, sustain, and multiply blessings without the heavy shadow of guilt. Whether you prefer to read the ebook or immerse yourself in the audiobook experience, this trilogy offers the keys to unlock the doors you have been pounding on for years. You can find the link to begin this journey in the pinned comment or description below. When we return to the essence of this Tuesday, we must understand that the divine command for your life today is not about doing more, but about being more. The metaphysical truth, echoed by mystics and teachers like Neville Goddard, is that you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. God, the creative power within your own wonderful human imagination, is waiting for you to occupy the state of the wish fulfilled. This February 2nd is asking you to look in the mirror and refuse to see the limitations of yesterday. The world will try to present you with old problems, old arguments, and old insecurities today. That is the nature of the 3-dimensional world. It is a delayed reflection of your past thoughts. But you, as a conscious creator, have the power to ignore the reflection and change the face you are showing to the universe. If this resonates with your spirit, take a moment to click the like button, not for the algorithm, but as a signal to your own subconscious that you are accepting this truth. The specific energy of this day calls for a stillness in action. It is a Tuesday, a day typically associated with drive and conflict. But for you, the chosen, the battle is not external. The battle is entirely within the temple of the mind. God wants you to become a person who no longer reacts to the shadows on the wall. When a challenge arises today, be it a financial bill, a difficult conversation, or a sudden wave of doubt, your spiritual assignment is to stand still and assert your I am. You must mentally appropriate the solution before it physically appears. You are being called to walk through this day as if the victory is already won. This is the essence of faith. It is the loyalty to an unseen reality, despite the evidence of the senses. Think of the events of this day as a test of your new identity. Every time you refuse to descend into fear, you are solidifying this new version of yourself. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you are rewriting your genetic and spiritual code. The world thinks you are just going through a Tuesday in February, but in the realm of cause, in the realm of the spirit, you are laying the foundation for a harvest that will surprise everyone around you. If you are ready to claim this authority, consider subscribing to the channel to ensure you never miss these daily alignments, for this journey is continuous and we walk it together. As the hours of this day progress, pay close attention to your inner conversations. What are you saying to yourself when no one is listening? That inner speech is the pen with which you are writing tomorrow. God wants you to become a master of your inner speech today. He wants you to align your inner dialogue with the dignity of a child of the Most High. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the operant power of God in your specific reality. This is a heavy responsibility, but it is also the ultimate freedom. By the time the sun sets on this February 2nd, the goal is not just to have survived the day, but to have transformed the very nature of your consciousness, moving from a state of wanting to a state of having, from a state of pleading to a state of gratitude. And as you lay your head down tonight, remember that the work you did in your imagination today has already set the wheels of tomorrow in motion. But there is a deeper layer to this creative power that we must explore. This deeper layer is the vibrational signature you emit, not just when you speak, but when you feel. The universe does not speak English or Spanish or French. It speaks the language of frequency, and your feeling is the vowel that gives sound to the word of your reality. You can say, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times a day, but if your stomach churns with anxiety when you open a bill, the universe hears the churn, not the chant. The work, therefore, is to align the feeling of the wish fulfilled with the thought of the desire. This is the great secret that separates those who merely hope from those who inevitably receive. It is about becoming comfortable with the sensation of having long before the object of your desire arrives in the physical world. It requires you to occupy a state of consciousness where the thing you desire is as natural to you as your own name. However, maintaining this state of consciousness amidst the noise of the modern world and the clamor of old habits is perhaps the greatest challenge a chosen one will face. It is easy to feel powerful in a quiet room. It is much harder to maintain that power when the pressure mounts. This is why I always emphasize the importance of having a structured path to follow. This is the heart behind the 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life. This trilogy is designed specifically to be that map for you. It is a comprehensive guide to help you awaken to who you really are, heal the invisible traumas and mental blocks that have held you back for years, and finally expand into a life of sustainable growth. We focus on learning how to receive, sustain, and multiply your blessings without that nagging sense of guilt that often plagues spiritual seekers. Whether you absorb this wisdom through the ebooks during your quiet mornings or listen to the audiobooks as you commute, this trilogy offers the practical tools to stabilize your frequency. If you feel called to deepen this work and stop cycling through the same old patterns, you can find the link to the 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life in the pinned comment and description below. It is a resource created to walk with you as you build a life that honors your soul. Now, as we return to the concept of aligning your feeling with your thought, we must address the biological resistance you will inevitably encounter. When you decide to change your consciousness on a day like today, your body will often rebel. This is not because you are failing, it is because your body is a chemical record of your past. For years, you may have conditioned your body to feel stress, urgency, and lack. Your cells have actually developed receptor sites for the chemicals of anxiety. So when you decide to be peaceful and prosperous, your body feels deprived of its usual chemical fix. It will send signals to your brain. Worrying thoughts, sudden fears, physical restlessness, trying to provoke you into returning to the old state of being. This is the crucial moment of the battle. You must realize that this discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the sensation of the old self dying. If you can sit in that fire, if you can feel the urge to react and yet remain still, you are breaking the chemical addiction to your past. You are liberating energy that was once trapped in survival mode and making it available for creation. This is what it means to be born again. It is a biological and spiritual renovation. As you move through the rest of this day, view every moment of irritation or doubt as a withdrawal symptom from your old life. Treat yourself with compassion, but do not give in. Breathe through the sensation. Remind yourself that you are the master of this vessel, not the servant of its habits. If you have ever felt this physical resistance when trying to change your mindset, if you have felt the body pulling you back when the spirit wants to move forward, click the like button to affirm that you are winning this internal war. This process of overriding the body's conditioning brings us to the concept of time. In the three-dimensional world, there is always a lag time between the planting of a seed and the harvest. This lag time is where most people lose their faith. They plant the seed of wealth or health in their imagination on a Tuesday, and when they do not see the tree on Wednesday, they dig up the seed to see if it is growing, thereby killing it. You, as one of the chosen, must develop the patience of a master gardener. You must understand that the unseen reality is more real than the seen. When you have imagined a state, it is done. It is finished in the realm of cause. The physical manifestation is just a shadow that takes time to cast. Do not judge your success by what your eyes see today. Judge your success by the consistency of your inner vision. Consider the relationships in your life as they stand right now. They are often the most accurate mirrors of your current and past states of consciousness. If you find yourself surrounded by people who doubt you, who drain you, or who do not see your value, do not fall into the trap of blaming them. In the profound philosophy of spiritual responsibility, there is no other. There is only you, pushed out. These people are reflecting fragments of your own doubts, your own insecurities, or your own lack of boundaries back to you. They are messengers. If you change your concept of yourself, if you truly begin to value yourself, to see yourself as divine, worthy, and powerful, the people around you must shift to match that new concept. They will either change their behavior toward you, or they will fade out of your life to be replaced by those who resonate with your new frequency. This is a hard truth, but it is also a liberating one, because it returns the power of your social reality back into your own hands. As you navigate these interactions today, practice the art of inner revision. If you have a difficult conversation, do not replay the argument in your mind, reinforcing the conflict. Instead, replay the scene as you wish it had happened. Hear the other person agreeing with you. Feel the resolution. This is not delusion. This is rewriting the spiritual script. By revising the memory, you alter the frequency you are emitting about that relationship, and you break the cycle of recurring conflict. You are pruning the vine of your life, cutting off the dead branches of past arguments so that fresh, healthy interactions can grow. This tool of revision is one of the most potent keys to maintaining your peace. There is a specific focus we must place on the energy of money and resources as we align with this day's potential. Money is, at its core, neutral energy. It takes on the characteristics of the consciousness that holds it. If you view money with fear, it will flee from you or cause you anxiety when it arrives. If you view it with gratitude and an expectation of circulation, it will flow to you and through you. Today, try to shift your internal monologue regarding your resources. Instead of saying, "I need," start saying, "I have." Even if your physical bank account is low, your spiritual bank account is infinite. Connect to the feeling of the air in your lungs. It is abundant, it is free, and you do not worry if there will be enough air for your next breath. Try to apply that same sense of trust to your supply. I am provided for. My needs are met. I am a conduit for abundance. When you walk into a store or look at a price tag, refuse the automatic contraction of, "I can't afford that." You do not have to buy it, but you can acknowledge it. Say to yourself, "I appreciate the abundance that created that. It is within the sphere of my reality." By simply appreciating abundance without the bitterness of lack, you draw it closer. You stop repelling it with envy or despair. You are signaling to the subconscious that abundance is safe, that it is familiar, and that you are ready to receive it. If you are ready to heal your relationship with resources and step into a flow of provision, consider subscribing to the channel. We are building a community that normalizes prosperity as a spiritual birthright, not a stroke of luck. Let us go deeper into the silence. The world fears silence because in silence, the ego has nowhere to hide. But for you, silence is the womb of creation. In the gaps between your thoughts, in the moments of stillness you carve out today, you connect with the formless intelligence that orchestrates the galaxies. It is in the silence that you hear the still, small voice that guides you. This voice never screams, it never rushes, and it never uses fear. If you hear a voice in your head that is frantic, urgent, or critical, that is the voice of the ego. Dismiss it. The voice of your higher self is calm, certain, and compassionate. It might simply say, wait, or go here, or trust. Learning to distinguish these two voices is the essence of discernment. Throughout this day, you may feel a sense of separation from the crowd. You might look at the news, the social media feeds, the conversations of colleagues, and feel like a stranger in a strange land. This sensation of not belonging is not a curse. It is a confirmation. You are waking up from the collective dream. You are realizing that the drama of the world is a script written by unconscious minds. Do not try to force yourself back to sleep just to fit in. Embrace the solitude of your awakening. It is in this solitude that you are forging the strength to lead, to heal, and to demonstrate a better way of living. You are becoming a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run around the island looking for boats to save. It just stands there and shines. Your very presence, when aligned with the I Am, does the work. As the afternoon turns to evening and the energy of the day begins to settle, reflect on the micro-victories you achieved. Did you catch a negative thought and stop it? That is a victory. Did you choose not to complain when things went wrong? That is a victory. Did you take a moment to breathe and center yourself? That is a victory. These small triumphs are the bricks with which you are building the temple of your new life. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. The massive breakthrough you are waiting for is simply the accumulation of these small, invisible choices. You are building momentum, and momentum is the force that eventually makes the impossible look easy. There is also a profound magic in the act of forgiveness that you must wield before this day ends. Forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others. It is about releasing the toxic link that binds you to the past. When you hold a grudge, you are mentally handcuffed to the person who hurt you. You drag them with you into your future, into your prayers, into your bed. You must cut the cord. Visualize the person or the situation that troubles you. Bless them with clarity and peace, and then watch them fade away. Say, I release you to your own path. I am free. Feel the physical lightness that comes with that release. You cannot fly if you are holding on to rocks. This brings us to the concept of the bridge of incidents. When you set an intention, when you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, the universe will construct a bridge of events to take you there. This bridge may not look like what you expect. It might look like a setback. It might look like a sudden change of plans, a lost job, a chance meeting, or a delay. Do not judge the bridge while you are walking on it. The very thing that looks like an obstacle might be the detour that leads you to your treasure. Trust the intelligence of the process. If you affirmed wealth and then you receive an unexpected bill, do not panic. Perhaps that bill forces you to look for new income streams, which leads to the idea that changes your life. You cannot see the full picture from where you stand, so you must trust the architect. If you are finding value in this perspective, if this message is helping you reframe the challenges of your day, please share this content with someone in your circle who is also seeking a higher path. We rise by lifting others, and your share might be the spark that ignites someone else's awakening. Now consider the power of your attention. Your attention is your currency. It is the most valuable thing you possess. Whatever you pay attention to, you buy. If you pay attention to the news of disaster, you are buying into the vibration of fear. If you pay attention to the gossip of the office, you are buying into the vibration of judgment. Be a wise investor today. Withdraw your attention from things that do not serve your highest good and invest it in things that inspire, uplift, and expand you. This is not ignorance. This is mental hygiene. You would not eat food from a garbage can, so why let your mind feed on the garbage of the collective consciousness? Guard the gates of your mind with the ferocity of a sentinel. As we approach the end of the script of this day, we must prepare for the night. The state in which you fall asleep is the state in which you will marinate for the next 8 hours. It is the seed you plant in the fertile soil of the subconscious. Never go to sleep feeling defeated, angry, or worried. If you have had a hard day, revise it before you sleep. Replay the day in your mind, but change the scenes to match your ideal. Fall asleep in the feeling of relief, in the feeling of "it is done," in the feeling of "thank you." This technique, often called the state akin to sleep, is the most powerful time for reprogramming. It is the back door to the subconscious. Use it wisely. But there is a nuance here that many miss. It is not just about visualization, it is about the sensory tone of your relaxation. As your body relaxes, as the sensory input of the world fades, you enter a state of high suggestibility. In this state, a single thought carries the weight of a command. If you drift off thinking, "I'm so tired of this struggle," your subconscious takes that as a blueprint for tomorrow and will work all night to ensure you have more struggle to be tired of. Conversely, if you drift off thinking, "I'm so grateful for my rising prosperity," the subconscious will work to generate the evidence of that prosperity. You are literally programming the operating system of your life every single night. Let us also speak to the feeling of worthiness. Many of the chosen struggle with a deep-seated belief that they are not worthy of the good they desire. This often stems from early childhood conditioning or religious dogma that taught self-abasement. You must understand that your worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you are. You are a fractal of the divine. Does a wave have to earn the right to be part of the ocean? Does a ray of sun have to earn the right to shine? No. Your existence is your qualification. You desire the good because the good desires you. The desire is the proof of the capacity to receive. Drop the heavy cloak of unworthiness. It does not fit you anymore. Stand tall in your identity as a creator. Think about the legacy you are building. You are not just living for yourself. You are clearing a path for your lineage, for those who come after you. By healing your own mind, you are healing the genetic line. You are stopping generational trauma in its tracks. You are the cycle breaker. This is why the resistance is so strong, because the stakes are so high, but the reward is a freedom that echoes through generations. When you view your struggles through this lens, they take on a noble quality. You are not just suffering, you are transmuting lead into gold for the benefit of all who are connected to you. As you continue this journey, remember that consistency is the key. You cannot go to the gym once and expect to be fit forever. Similarly, you cannot align your mind once and expect to remain in the state of the chosen without maintenance. This is a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice. There will be days when you fail, when you react, when you fall back into fear. That is allowed. Do not judge yourself. Simply get back up, dust off your knees, and realign. The path is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You may feel like you are circling the same issues, but you are seeing them from a higher level each time. You are evolving. In the coming days, pay close attention to the coincidences that occur. When you are in alignment, the universe gets very literal. You might think of a book and see it in a window. You might think of a person and they call. These are not random accidents. They are winks from the cosmos. They are feedback mechanisms telling you that your magnetic power is increasing. Acknowledge them. Say, "Thank you, I see this." The more you acknowledge these signs, the more frequent and profound they will become. You are entering a dialogue with reality itself. we must also address the concept of letting go. To let go does not mean to give up on your desire. It means to give up the struggle, the desperate need to control how it happens. It is the difference between holding a bird tightly in your fist, which kills it, and holding it on an open palm, which allows it to rest. When you grip your desire too tightly with the energy of, "I must have this or I will die," you strangle the flow. You introduce the energy of lack. But when you say, "I desire this, I claim this, and I trust that it is coming in the best way," you open the channels. Detachment is the ultimate act of faith. It says, "I know who I am, and I know what is mine." As we prepare to close this specific transmission, realize that the energy of February is pushing you toward authenticity. It is stripping away everything that is false. If you feel uncomfortable, it is because you are wearing clothes that are too small for your spirit. Let them rip. Let the old structures crumble. Do not try to patch up a life that you have outgrown. Have the courage to stand naked in the truth of who you are becoming, and trust that the universe will clothe you in majesty. You are the operant power. You are the cause. The world is just the effect. Keep your eyes on the cause. Keep your heart in the state of gratitude. Keep your mind in the frequency of the solution. You are walking a path that few dare to walk, but the view from the summit is worth every step of the climb. And as you move forward, remember that this knowledge is alive. It grows as you grow. What you understand today is just a fraction of what you will understand tomorrow. Stay open, stay humble, stay hungry for the truth. We are reaching a point where the intellectual understanding must transition into embodied wisdom. It is not enough to know about the power. You must be the power. This requires a shift in identity so profound that you may not recognize yourself a year from now. You will look back at the person who worried about these small things and smile with compassion. You are becoming a new creature, forged in the fires of your own conscious intent. Take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs, anchoring you in the present moment. This moment is the only point of power. The past is a memory. The future is a fantasy. Right now, in this breath, you are free. Right now, you can choose who you are. If this transmission has served you, if it has added a brick to your foundation, ensure you are subscribed and have the notifications turned on. We are building a library of consciousness here, and every session adds a new layer to your armor. The night is coming, but for you, the light is just dawning within. Carry this peace with you, guard it, cherish it. It is your most precious jewel. Until we speak again, walk in the confidence that you are watched over, you are guided, and you are infinitely loved. The reality you seek is seeking you. Let it in. But even as you let it in, you will find that the mind tries to complicate the simplicity of this reception. It will ask how and when. These are the questions of the limited self. The infinite self asks no questions because it knows all answers are contained within the present moment of I am. The bridge between the limited self and the infinite self is built on the practice of presence. When you are fully present, you are not waiting for the future. You are pulling the future into the now. Consider the act of waiting. Waiting is a state of separation. It implies that what you want is over there, and you are over here. Stop waiting. Start occupying. Occupy the reality of your success now. How does the version of you who is already successful breathe? How do they walk? How do they drink their coffee? Adopt those mannerisms now. Wear the feeling of success like a garment. At first, it may feel like a costume, but if you wear it long enough, it becomes your skin. This is the method of the actor who becomes the character so fully that the line between fiction and reality blurs. You are the actor, the writer, and the director of this play. There is a subtle trap in spiritual work called the lust for result. This is when you do the inner work only to check if it worked on the outside. You visualize wealth for 10 minutes, then check your bank app. This checking is an act of doubt. It is like planting a seed and digging it up every hour. You must reach a place of knowing where you do not need to check because you are so sure of the inevitable harvest. This state of knowing is the Sabbath mentioned in Scripture, the day of rest where you cease from the mental labor because the work is finished. Let us touch upon the energy of envy. If you see someone else who has what you desire, how do you react? If you feel a pang of jealousy, you are affirming that there is a limited supply and they took your share. This pushes your desire away. But if you can look at their success and feel a genuine surge of joy, saying, "Thank you for showing me that this is possible," you magnetize that same success to yourself. You are telling the universe, "I like this. Give me more of this." Celebration of others is a selfish act in the best possible way. It aligns you with the frequency of the blessing. As you integrate these truths, you might find that your physical energy levels change. You might need more sleep as your brain rewires, or you might feel bursts of energy at odd hours. Honor the